NBA playoffs. Yeah. Starting tomorrow. Or today, whenever you're watching this. Or it started last week. Because, whatever. I don't know when half people watch this. Getting some views, though.
We are getting views.
So, we got NBA playoffs starting. Anyways, this is the Nosebleed Show, as always. I don't need to introduce us anymore, I hope. If I do, look it up. I'll put our names on the description or whatever. It's going to be under us. Whatever. So, we got NBA playoffs starting. Toronto, 1 seed in the East. Houston, 1 seed in the West. I think that both of them have actual difficult matchups. Toronto's playing Washington, first round. I think they'll win, but it might take 6 games.
It'll take a couple. Yeah.
You know, especially being at home in Toronto, that place is crazy. The West though, Houston's playing Minnesota. Minnesota's got some ballers.
I like Minnesota's team, and I don't like James Harden in the playoffs because he relies heavily on free throws, and they're not going to give him those tic-tac calls in the playoffs.
Yeah, no.
And that's historically been his issue, is once he gets out of his game and he can't shoot those free throws, how is he going to, how is he going to adapt to that? Is he going to be able to take a game over and score 40, or is he just going to crumble?
Right.
I think that's interesting. I still think Houston doesn't have much of an issue with them. They may lose a game or two, but I don't think they're going to have a huge issue. We're going to see, this is like Jekyll and Hyde to the NHL, right? The first round of the NHL playoffs is like, you better hold on, this is going to be crazy. The first round of the NBA playoffs is like, we already know who's going to win these games.
See, I don't most of the time, but I don't know
think
this
there's
year.
Huge upsets coming.
I don't know this year. Like you've got Philadelphia playing Miami. Okay, they're going to win that. But like Golden State has to play San Antonio, and San Antonio is a playoff team. They're coached for the playoffs. They show up in the playoffs, right?
I think San Antonio is a tough draw for Golden State. However, I don't think it's going to be a drag-out series.
Okay.
They're going to struggle against them a little bit, but you have to understand. I mean, these guys score in the playoffs is ridiculous.
Well, back to Houston, too. I think James Harden historically obviously struggles in the playoffs, but now he's got Chris Paul. I think Chris Paul brings him back down, makes him play within himself. Not going to be silly, So I think that'll help Houston.
Has Chris Paul ever won a playoff series?
Yeah, they won a couple series when he was with Denver.
No, Chris Paul wasn't with Denver. He was with the Clippers.
Or the Clippers. Yeah, they won a couple series.
They've struggled. If he's got one, I'd be surprised. I mean, I'm not saying this team's going to crumble because they've beaten good teams, week in and week out, but I think relying on Chris Paul to be the leadership on that team might be a hard draw right there.
Yeah, I mean, well, that'll be an interesting series. That'll be fun to watch. Now, I'm a little more scared for Toronto than I was 3 weeks ago when they beat Houston. Right? I'm a little more scared for them now. I think they win their series, but the second series, they're going to have to play Cleveland. Because Cleveland's now in the 4 seed. What the heck happened there, Philadelphia?
I think we all know what's going to happen with the Cleveland team. LeBron's going to turn off the social media. LeBron's he's going to ratchet it up. This guy shows, it doesn't matter if he plays 1,000 minutes, every time he hits the playoffs, he turns into an animal. I don't know. I think Toronto's going to struggle. I think that series probably goes 7 if it does come down to that. But I think Cleveland's going to beat them.
Here's another thing, though. Toronto has home court again in that. And that's when 2 years ago, when they had home court, they took that series to 6.
35-5. LeBron is 35-5. It's I'm telling you right now, if we don't see Golden State and Cleveland in the finals, it's going to be some crazy shit's going to happen.
Yeah, Houston can beat Golden State.
I think Houston can. We don't know how healthy Golden State's going to be. If they could fly through the playoffs like they did last time.
Minnesota could beat Houston. Guys like Wiggins and they could show up and they could beat them. I know it's okay, so it's a long shot, but it's more of a possibility than a 1 or an 8 beating a 1 in the past 10 years.
Yeah, but I think, here's my thing. Anything that happens in the West wouldn't surprise me. You know, like we already know that competition's a little bit better. The teams have a little bit more talent. You know what I'm saying? Like the West, if a four loses to a 5, or if that happens, I wouldn't be extremely surprised. Now, if you go to the East, I mean,
dude,
Milwaukee's a good team, and they're playing Boston, who
has injuries. Like they don't have their two best players.
They don't have Kyrie.
Arguably.
They don't have Hayward. I mean, they haven't had Hayward all year. But I think that team down the road is going to be dominant. But I think Kyrie's always hurt.
Yeah, but he's clutch.
I mean, you can't be clutch from the bench in your suit. You can't be clutch from the bench when you're sitting in your suit, man. I mean, even in the Cleveland series when he was lighting it up, he had ankle problems that whole series. So, like, he was able to overcome it, but, I mean, at a time in your career when you're not 25 years old, it's going to catch up to you.
Well, here's another thing, is they'll play Philadelphia in the second round. I think Philadelphia wins that series.
2.
And goes to the Eastern Final. And then they're going to play either Toronto or Cleveland if something silly doesn't happen, right?
Do you think there's a chance that Philly even loses to Miami?
No.
Not like maybe a game, but like I'm saying, like game. In a series, I don't think.
No, not even close.
But
dude, Philly could beat Cleveland or Toronto. They could go to the championship.
Easy.
Okay, so I know they're young, but they got this is the most parity I've seen in the NBA, like I said, like in the past 5-10 years.
Let's talk about the matchup that nobody's looking at.
OKC?
Pelicans against the Trailblazers.
Oh yeah, Portland. Well, nobody, the small markets.
And they start at midnight. I don't know. I haven't bought into Portland. Obviously, I don't watch many of their games, so it's hard for me to say,
Yeah.
But I've watched New Orleans, and they're missing probably one of the top, 10, 15 players in the league, with Cousins being hurt. But I think...
Dude, no.
I think that might be a good series.
It'll be a good series, but Portland has such a better backcourt than...
Yeah, I mean, they're probably going to... I think Portland beats them, but I think it'd be interesting games because of the size difference down low.
If I could watch them, because they're starting so late at night.
Terrible. I mean, I think San Antonio's an early exit. 5 games is probably realistic.
They were lucky to sneak in anyway.
Toronto, they might get pushed by Washington, but I don't see them losing. Like I said, Philadelphia. And then OKC, Utah, that's probably going to go 7 games. I mean...
I hope it does.
I think if there was a series that I had to pick to go to 7, it would be that one.
I think Boston-Milwaukee could go 7.
Could. I think we're going to know a lot about that series after the first game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't really know what Boston's going to do. We don't know how Milwaukee's going to adjust. The size difference is ridiculous.
I don't even know who to I don't even know who to pick this year because Golden State hasn't shown me much. They've had a bunch of injuries. Cleveland, obviously, you got LeBron, but they've dropped in the last couple weeks. LeBron, you can't bet against LeBron.
You can't bet against Golden State either.
I mean, you can't bet against them, but I'm not sold on them like I was last 3 years.
I don't think I'm sold on them, and we can talk about the West being a tough division, but I don't think anybody beats them in 4 games in 1 week. That's a tough way to... I don't think nobody can... That's 4 games in a week against Golden State. Granted, they haven't won 80 games this year, but...
Right.
Come on, I mean, those guys, they've been to the finals. They've won the finals. They've been through the playoffs. They know the grind. I mean, this season, it just seemed like they took their foot off the gas.
They did.
Coasted through. I mean, they didn't really care about home court. They didn't really care about, you know what I'm saying?
No, when you think about it like that, they literally just coasted.
Yeah. And they're what? A 2 seed?
Yeah, they're just behind Houston.
Yeah, so they coasted through the regular season, and they're a 2 seed.
Right, now they just... See, it's hard, though, to turn on the afterburners. Like, it's hard to just go full board.
I don't think it's that hard.
Maybe it's harder in hockey, and that's where I'm coming from. Because
I think if you struggle through the season, because hockey's more wide open. I mean, basketball, the stars show up. Most of the stars show up. Sorry, Chris Paul. In the playoffs, and I just don't think there's that big of a gap between Golden State and Houston. I mean, yeah, Houston's won games. They went back and forth. Anybody can win on any given night, but 4 times in a week is a lot to ask of a team. And Golden State is deep.
Yeah, Golden State looks. I mean, if it's a Golden State Cleveland final again, who wins that?
If it's not a Golden State Cleveland finals, I will be shocked. And I think Cleveland wins it this year.
What, is that the NBA doing it?
I've been back and forth on this whole conspiracy NBA theory, and it seems to always play itself out. But LeBron's threatening to leave Cleveland again, right?
Yeah.
You think he leaves if he wins another one? Probably not. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, this is his only opportunity to go. If they win or lose, this is his opportunity to go somewhere else.
Well, my thing is LeBron notoriously signs a 2-year deal with a second-year player option. Nobody's going to say, no, LeBron, we have to sign you to 5 years. Because he's
not going to do it.
Even when he's 55 years old, he's going to get that contract. You're going to give him a max deal, 2 years, second-year player option, no trade clause. If you don't say that to LeBron, he's not even walking in the office. So I honestly think that it would be better for him to win the championship this year.
And stay in
because he
Cleveland?
would stay in Cleveland, right? Because, I mean, yeah, he could go anywhere, and he could probably make Philadelphia better. He could make,
He'll make any team better.
But that's what I'm saying. But the story for him to keep winning in Cleveland is bigger than him going somewhere and being...
That team was ripped apart this year from where they started with, like, all the stars that they had that were all old and broken to now where they are, like... I mean, they still got Kevin Love.
When I saw the trade go through for Kyrie for Isaiah Thomas, I was like, what is going on? And I think Cleveland got the best of that deal in the long run because of what they were able to get in return for all those guys. But they got rid of Derrick Rose, knee problems. Isaiah Thomas, never held.
Dwayne Wade.
They got rid of Dwayne Wade, which...
Just because they wanted to get him back to... He wanted to go...
I think that was more of like, hey, we can't make you a rotational player here if we want to win.
Let's go Toronto.
I think you're going to be...
Let's go Toronto!
Disappointment is coming in the future. I would be surprised if anyone beats Cleveland. There's probably going to be some scares, right? They're gonna struggle a little bit.
Toronto's big men can beat Cleveland. I mean, they've got a good backcourt that can match up well. The only variable that will have Cleveland beat Toronto is LeBron James. And I know you're not going to be able to shut him down.
That is the variable.
Yeah, but...
That's the variable in every series.
No. I don't think he's going to win a championship this year. And I'll eat my words, and we can replay this when he does.
I will say that Cavs, Warriors, 7 games.
Intense.
LeBron hoists the trophy.
So the thing that drives me crazy is that is still not even as intense as round 1 of the NHL playoffs.
Not even going to happen.
And everybody watches it. It's probably because they can't follow the play in the NHL, but whatever.
They need that laser line, remember? They talked
Oh, God, I freaking hated that thing. Fox put the tail on the puck so that people know where it is. I'm like, come on.
That was like 3-on-3 NHL hockey on Xbox. With the slap shot.
Oh, yeah, so
we're morning Caps fans this morning, and shout out to Gary. 0-1.
Did he say they were gonna
win the Stanley Cup? Listen, there's too much excitement for the NHL to talk about NBA right now.
Yeah.
But we are excited for the NBA.
We are
excited. But it's a slow, we got to ease ourselves into it. Yeah. You got to ease yourself. Like the first round's going to be snoozers. We might have some good games. But we got NHL at peak performance right now, and it's just bananas.
Yeah. Ooh. Did you see that goal in Nashville? Oh, my God.
That was a filthy
Yo,
little move.
What about, did you see Sid batting it out of the air?
Yeah.
Deflecting out of the air, oh my God.
Did you get a chance to check out Hyman's goal for
Yeah,
Toronto?
that was ridiculous. Holy
Full
crap,
speed.
Hyman. And that, oh God, Boston, they had a 10-minute stretch where the Bruins looked like they might fall apart and Toronto would make a series of it, and it was 1-1. And then they score 4 goals, and they score on, like, it was like they scored on every
what
power
we
play.
expected to happen.
I was
But,
hoping that, you know.
Yeah, I was hoping it would be a little bit more competitive, but
This is the Nosebleed Show. We're gonna start bringing some guests in, even if it's over the phone. Got NBA, NHL. We're gonna just go hard.
ripping and roaring. It's an awesome time.
This is
of
a
year.
little longer. We got a
The
little
best
long-winded.
time of the year.
It is.
NHL playoffs.
I mean, you got
Book
the NBA
it.
playoffs too. Everything is exciting right now.
Des Brown got cut. Peace.